I think Donald Trump is doing an amazing job so far on the things that he ran on. Immigration. The border is just his taking office. The border is effectively shut down. The attitude change from the federal government effectively closed the border. Look at the people coming across now. Look at the encounters today versus what was going on with Biden. I think on March 4th, you're going to hear them talk a lot about the success on immigration. As it relates to Ukraine, look, Zelensky made a huge mistake on Friday. All he had to do was show up and sign this deal, and he just couldn't do it. And sometimes these guys, when they put on the military uniform, they have trouble taking it off. He needs to take off the military garb, put on the garb of diplomacy, and understand that he's got an honest new broker on the field who can actually help him end this war, maintain his sovereignty, maintain prosperity for the Ukrainians. And regarding Elon and the bureaucracy, if I just may respond to something you said about the bureaucracy, there seems to be, when Republicans are president, that this idea that the bureaucracy and the government should not be responsive to the political leadership of the executive branch. That is totally false. It has nothing to do with a loyalty test, but it does have to do with whether or not the unelected bureaucracy is responsive to the political oversight of the government. And Democrats right now do not seem to believe that the president should be able to be the president.
You should come to my town halls. You should come and talk to some of these federal workers. Many of them are veterans, in fact, but many of them are very competent. What we're doing is we're prioritizing loyalty over competence.
I don't doubt it.
That's bad for
our country. But I prioritize
right
the
now.
Political leadership. Elections have consequences, and they need to understand.
But critical programs are being cut off. Contractors are having their contracts canceled for things that really will hurt the American people if we end up doing this.
But right now, these are just fear-mongering talking points at this point from Democrats.
It's really happening.
No, I understand that people are losing their jobs, and I am sympathetic to that. But all Democrats, you have yet to actually point to something concrete that has been cut, an employee that has been cut, a service that has been cut, that has caused the devastation.
We had people who are in charge of tax fraud losing their jobs. What are you talking about?
Because Democrats wanted to add 84,000 more IRS agents. That is bloated bureaucracy that's failing the people. That is not a critical tax fraud is not a critical need for the country.
Yeah, but that money is going to come back. That's how we get more federal revenue, right? The IRS is in charge of trying to make sure that we have less tax fraud, less tax waste, right? And to allow the cuts to the IRS means we're going to lose money. I mean, this is not allowing taxpayers to get their money back. We're losing money as a country.
And going back to loyalty, I think it's a very fair point because you claim that Trump is not asking for loyalty within the federal government. He absolutely is. I was at the Department of Justice. They're telling, essentially attorneys, career prosecutors, if you are not loyal to Trump, then you should get out of here. He fired the January 6th prosecutors. He's trying to fire FBI agents. 5,000 FBI agents who worked on January 6 cases. If you fire 5,000 FBI agents, we will have a terrorist attack, unfortunately.
We have elections for a reason in this country. We vest all executive authority in a president of the United States, not in an unelected bureaucracy, not in independent agencies, but in a president. The president's agenda matters. When a Republican is president, the bureaucracy resists. It has to stop.
That sounds more like a king. It does not sound like president of the United States. It sounds, well, they're not upholding the Constitution.
Yeah, it's not our Constitution to impede on the spending power of Congress, for instance, and take away agencies that we authorize. So this is not constitutional at all.
But then Democrats want to sit here and complain about that, but had no issue whatsoever when Joe Biden defied the Supreme Court and continued to unilaterally pardon student loan debt. That money was all fanciful and monopoly then.
Right now, I've talked to the federal workers. This is going to do lasting damage to our country if we let these cuts go through. And so I'm going to continue to fight.
There's two parties, Dana. Yeah. One wants bigger government, one wants smaller government. I think I'll take it to the midterms.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. And up next, we all want to laugh. We probably all need to laugh. This week's